You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about a couple of things. Number one, we're going to very quickly look at the schedule, get you lined out on where games are going to be played and when they are, what channels are going to be on. Look, Caitlin Clark plays basketball tomorrow, all right, against the Mystics. So that game, by the way, is at noon, my time, Central, all right? And I think that's Central. At least that's what the Google is showing me at this point. Let me look. There we go. Here we go. Let's just take a look right here. Now, guys, just a quick reminder, Lucy Olsen from Iowa may get some playing time. You could, in theory, have Lucy Olsen, Caitlin Clark on the court at the same time. In theory, guarding each other. Think about that a minute. Now, this game, I believe, is going to be right here. Scott Agnes says tomorrow's preseason game will be on NBA TV. Okay? And the next game I was going to talk about is the game in Iowa at the Carver Hawkeye Arena against the Brazilian national team. Well, let us not forget, tonight the Chicago Sky take on the Brazilian national team. That game is on Ion, I think. I think that game's on Ion. All right, so it's a nationally televised game tonight. This game is at 4 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday, 3 p.m. Central for my time. And it's on ESPN, Brazilian national team. That game should look and sound crazy as hell on television. It should look really good on TV. With all those Iowa fans there and Indiana Fever fans, it's going to be awesome. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is Sophie Cunningham, because there is a feeling now that her role is starting to sort of emerge, the Swiss Army knife kind of role on this Indiana Fever team. Look, some people think she could be the enforcer. Now, look, I don't want anything to happen to that grill. I mean, let's not, she's a bit of a looker. Let's just say that, right? So some people think she might be a bit of the enforcer, but she also has the ability to play multiple positions, and that's sort of starting to emerge. Now, the other thing that's starting to emerge out of all this, and we'll get to it at the very end of the article, is the idea that she might be a real contender for Sixth Man of the Year. All right? Just throwing that out there. Look, I'm not trying to be politically correct, all right? For Sixth Man of the Year. I know she's a woman. I get it. Sophie Cunningham's personality may be big, but her impact on the Indiana Fever will be bigger. And if the early glimpses of training camp are any indication, Cunningham is set to be the team's secret weapon. My goodness. With the WNBA training camp at full throttle, fans have been able to get an inside peek into fresh faces the Fever have added to the roster. And thanks to the elite work of the team's social media admin, we're along for the ride. As the Fever work to build a fast-paced run-and-gun offense, one player already standing out is Sophie Cunningham, who arrived in Indiana via Phoenix as part of a 4-team trade this offseason. During her time with the Mercury, Cunningham spent a lot of time at the 4 or the power forward position. Let me just throw this out here. Sophie Cunningham guarding Angel Reese. I'm signing up for it. All right, I'm here for that. Let's just put it that way. But according to the Seattle Storm's Lexi Brown, on her Full Circle podcast last week, Cunningham's natural fit is at the 3 or small forward. For that reason, Brown predicted a breakout year for the former Mercury forward. But judging by the footage released by Indiana's training camp over the past few days, Cunningham has a lot more in her bag. Surprising fans with facilitating skills while knocking down threes at the wing and still bringing that pesky defense she's known for. Her versatility hasn't gone unnoticed. One fan on X wrote, quote, "What really differentiates the Fever roster is the versatility of a player like Sophie, who realistically could play 1 through 4 on any given night. The post highlights Cunningham's ability to be a Swiss Army knife on the court. She can facilitate like a point guard, spot up, move off ball as a shooting guard, wing at the 2 or 3, and use her length and toughness honed during her time with the Mercury to power through defenders at number 4. Very interesting. Cunningham is expected to come off the bench to start the season, but her ability to fill multiple roles makes her a potential X factor in Indiana's rotation." And it goes on to say, here we go. "And if the training camp momentum carries into the regular season, don't be surprised if she earns a starting role or at the very least gets a nod at the WNBA 6th Woman of the Year." Very interesting. I keep saying this young lady's about to have a huge impact on this team. I did have a conversation with somebody the other day about the idea that possibly Lexi's role might in some way be reduced. I mean, there's a lot of new talent on this team. Where the hell is it all going to go? And it's a great problem to have when you're talking about a championship team. You need depth because at the end of the day, we don't want to talk about this, but injuries can be a thing. Okay? And look, I didn't follow Unrivaled enough to know exactly who played in Unrivaled on this team and who didn't. I know Lexi did. I know Aaliyah Boston did. We've already seen a couple of injuries around the league from players that played in that league. You have to wonder, could that league have a carryover effect on players physically into the WNBA season? And if it does, that's going to turn out to be an interesting story in itself because of the difference in the money. But I don't see that being much of a difference once the new media rights deal and the new CBA happens. All right, because there'll be a raise. I figure at minimum they'll try to match what it is the Unrivaled's paying, so some of those players could back out of that league. You know what I'm saying? So that's interesting. 6th Woman of the Year seems very interesting as a potential 1 through 4 on the court. So once again, tomorrow noon my time. I guess that's 1 o'clock. This is my time, the schedule they're showing. So I guess it would be 1 o'clock. Let me just bring this up. Yeah, 12 o'clock my time. So it'd be 1 o'clock Eastern time for that Mystics game. And then 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern on the in Iowa for the Brazilian national team. I know you are all tuning in for Angel Reese tonight. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.